Cali to Chi-Town, it's Bears on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the likes.
Things are starting to break down in Chicago. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bears fans, make sure you also do me another huge favor by also hitting the like button on today's episode of Keek on the Mic. So, Bears fans, I really don't even know where to begin. I have so many different thoughts, so many different emotions. And you know, for the longest time, I took the Bears so seriously, which, I'm a Bears YouTuber / Bears podcaster. This is what I chose to do on a day-to-day basis, to talk about my favorite team. And I still enjoy doing so. And for the longest time, I would take this team so seriously. Every time they would have a big loss or every time something big happened, I would just take it really seriously. I would take it to heart. I would let it affect my day-to-day life. But I'm finally at the point where I don't care anymore. It's to the point where if the Bears don't want to make changes, why should we care as a fan base? I was actually talking to my dad this morning after the 29-9 loss, the embarrassing loss to the Arizona Cardinals. And he was like, son, the only way things are going to change is if us Bears fans, I know this is not going to happen because we're so loyal, but he says if us Bears fans start striking against the Chicago Bears, meaning stop showing up for them, because for years and years and years, they haven't shown up for us as fans. They have yet to put a good product on the football field. There's been spurts where, the Bears have been good, but not consistently. And this all stems from an organization purpose, right? But it all stems when we're talking about the head coach that's incapable of leading that team, and that is head coach Matt Eberflus. I just want to talk about my opinion on a couple of different things that has really been on my mind. And first things first, it's head coach Matt Eberflus. This football team looked unprepared, unmotivated. They looked like they didn't even want to be in Arizona yesterday. The Arizona Cardinals just rushed all over us. It was absolutely pathetic. I still think they weren't over that heartbreaking loss to the Washington Commanders. And even Caleb Williams said that after the game. He's like, I felt like we dwelled too much on that game, and it affected this week's performance. That is a reflection on the head coach. And I wake up this morning and I see, Dennis Allen from the Saints getting fired. Obviously, the New York Jets fired Robert Saleh. But the Chicago Bears are going to let Matt Eberflus continue to be the head coach of this football team. I had some back and forth with some listeners that were on my live stream yesterday, and they were like trying to kind of almost defend head coach Matt Eberflus. There's nothing to defend when you're talking about Eberflus. He's 14-28 overall as a head coach. I guess you can take out year one because the Bears were still in a rebuild, but overall, he's still 14-28. He's 3-18 on the road, 0-18 on Sunday games on the road. He's 1-13 against winning teams. He continues to make idiotic decisions, in-game decisions. For example, leaving Caleb Williams and the starters in the game yesterday with 2 minutes left to go. And when the reporters asked him about it, he said, well, I just wanted to make sure that they're getting the work in. We don't want to, we want to continue to fight. We wanted Caleb Williams to get some extra work in on his timing, all that. The game is over. You're down by 20. You're down by 3 scores. You're lucky that Caleb Williams, your franchise quarterback, avoided a serious injury because he was limping after the game. Just imagine if Caleb Williams had a season-ending injury when he didn't even need to be in the game at that point. Matt Eberflus continues to hurt this football team. And I use this reference a lot, is that I feel like he is a decent defensive coordinator, at times a really good defensive coordinator, not the last couple of weeks, but overall, I feel like he's a decent defensive coordinator, but he's a terrible head coach. Once again, this team is a reflection on their head coach and the coaching staff in general. The team is 4-4, and it feels like the season is over. You have the Patriots next week, and I'm not even sure if you can even beat that team. And then you go into the gauntlet of the schedule where you play everyone in NFC North twice. And at this moment, I don't think we can compete against the Vikings, the Green Bay Packers, and especially not the Detroit Lions. Then we travel to Santa Clara to take on a team that is about to get Christian McCaffrey back, and we can't stop the run to save our lives. And then even when you look at a team like the Seattle Seahawks, that's another team that can absolutely run the football. So I am truly concerned about this team, especially after the performance that we saw in that blowout loss to the Arizona Cardinals. There's a couple of plays where, for example, I think it was 2nd and 6. It was the play where, Caleb Williams was running around, making people miss. Literally, DJ Moore, mid-play, just walks off the field while the play was still going on. Players are frustrated. They're making it known. DJ Moore actually went on the radio show, 670 Score this morning, and when they asked him, hey, has Matt Eberflus lost this locker room in your opinion? He says, I want to say no. You want to say no. Usually a leader or confident player would be like, oh, no, we still have his back. We're going to play hard for him. We have to make changes to get right back on track. DJ Moore says, I want to say no. That doesn't feed a lot of confidence in your head coach. DJ Moore doesn't believe in Matt Eberflus. Most of these guys don't believe that Matt Eberflus can lead them out of this hole. The only people that are blinded right now is the upper management of the Chicago Bears. Ryan Poles, this is your guy. You gave him that vote of confidence. You brought him back. And that's a totally different topic. Why bring a defensive head coach back that was already showing signs of struggling, blowing late game leads that could easily have been wins, making these dumb in-game decisions last year with Justin Fields? And you bring him back with a new quarterback, and he's still doing the same shit. He's showing the inability of not being able to hire a good OC. Shane Waldron has been terrible. You could even make the argument that he's been worse than Luke Getsy. And Luke Getsy just got fired 9 games in with his new gig in Las Vegas. That makes Eberflus even look worse. It's just absolutely insane to me that the Chicago Bears continue to settle for mediocre, incompetent coaches here in Chicago. It makes no sense. Like, why can't we fire a coach in season? Is there a rule in the city of Chicago within the organization that we can't fire an incompetent, incapable coach? Matt Eberflus is not going to get it done. Once again, 14-28 overall, 3-18 on the road, 0-18 on the road in Sunday games, and 1-13 against winning teams. Do we really think he's going to beat the Detroit Lions? We could say, oh, it's divisional, but do we really think he's going to beat the Detroit Lions? Do we think we're going to beat the Green Bay Packers with Matt Eberflus? Do we think we're going to beat the Minnesota Vikings, the San Francisco 49ers, anyone in this gauntlet of the schedule? Yeah, it's all fine and dandy that we're 4-4 right now, but we're losing to teams that we should be beating. Coming into this game, the Arizona Cardinals had the 24th ranked defense? Granted, they're playing better football over the last couple of weeks. That was their 3rd straight win. But overall, why weren't we able to get in a rhythm against the Arizona Cardinals? And granted, I understand Matt Eberflus is not calling the offensive plays, but he is the one that made the hire of Shane Waldron. It's just frustrating, Bears fans. Brad Biggs actually even came out an article and said the sense around inside the locker room is that, players would welcome a change in play calling as well. So I feel like over the next couple of weeks, if the offense continues to struggle, Shane Waldron will be the scapegoat for Matt Eberflus to maybe last a little bit longer in Chicago. But in my personal opinion, Matt Eberflus should be done in Chicago. I understand they're not going to fire him in season. That's not what the Chicago Bears do. But this would be a good time to make a move like that. There is nothing else that Matt Eberflus can do for this team. When you have a leader in DJ Moore just walking off the field, which granted, he didn't have to sign the contract extension to stay with the Chicago Bears. So I can understand why Bears fans could be a little bit irritated with DJ Moore. But at the same time, the coaches here in Chicago sucks. The offensive line sucks. The football team right now sucks. The Chicago Bears are not good right now. They're mediocre, and it's due to the fact that our coaches suck. Matt Eberflus is trash. Shane Waldron is trash. You start looking at Ryan Poles now too. I don't think anyone is safe. Ryan Poles may last one more year, but Ryan Poles has to make the right decision, and that is to fire head coach Matt Eberflus. If you love this guy that much, and you want to keep Matt Eberflus here in Chicago and not fire him either now or at the end of the season, you need to go too. Because that would be a huge misfire by Ryan Poles. You already couldn't get the offensive line going. The offensive line sucks. And now you want to keep head coach Matt Eberflus? And I get it. Maybe he wants to see if Matt Eberflus can weather the storm, right? But I don't think we're going to be able to weather the storm when we play in the toughest division in football, Bears fans. And then you have DJ Moore and other players going on interviews on the radio, speaking their mind. I want to say no when DJ Moore was asked if Matt Eberflus has lost the locker room. That doesn't give Matt Eberflus any vote of confidence. Not whatsoever. Once again, the team looked lost. They looked unmotivated. They have not fully recovered from that terrible loss to the Washington Commanders. And I feel like that Hail Mary from Jaden Daniels ruined the Chicago Bears season. I really did. And I don't think Matt Eberflus is going to be able to recover from that. He has lost this football team, whether you like it or not. And I don't think even a win against the New England Patriots will save us. We're about to reach the gauntlet of the schedule. So even if you beat the Patriots this Sunday and you go 5-4, congratulations, you're 5-4. You're still in the toughest division in football. You have to go prove it to me, Matt Eberflus. You have to make extreme amount of changes. But anyone that has 0-18 on the road during his career, how in the hell does this man still have a job? Someone please answer that question. How does this man still have an effing job in Chicago? In my personal opinion, if Ryan Poles thinks that this is the way that we're going to take the North and never give it back, he needs to be fired too. Because to me, this is absolutely ridiculous. I'm tired, Bears fans, of mediocre coaching. It's time to make a change. And rather you want to keep him through the season or not, he needs to go. Matt Eberflus has lost this team. In my personal opinion, this season could very well be over, especially with the gauntlet of the schedule coming up. And if Ryan Poles really wants to keep Matt Eberflus through the season, he has to go out there and really prove something to me over the last 8-9 weeks of the season. And I think it's going to be really hard, especially when you're looking at the schedule coming up for the Chicago Bears. So Bears fans, I just want to come on here and give my quick opinion on the whole situation. And it's really getting ugly. It really is. So go ahead and down below in the comment section, give me your opinion. This is a safe place. Go ahead and rant in the comment section. Do you think it's time for the Chicago Bears to fire head coach Matt Eberflus? And you can even give me your opinion on Ryan Poles as well. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. Hopefully the Bears can weather the storm. Hopefully they can come together and get the season back on track. But things are definitely looking ugly under head coach Matt Eberflus. But other than that, Bears fans, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. And make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for an all-new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys. And as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Geek on the Mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it,